Y'all be getting racks on, it's back on, baby. You don't wanna wax off, you wax on. With my paper blowing fast, I'm Jason, tryna live my life, it's fast, I be getting racks on, it's back on.
What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning back into the channel. KC Modern Mopar with another video. Today we're going to talk about 5 things that I hate about the Challenger. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this car, so I did have to dig pretty deep to figure out 5 things. And before I do get started with the video, I do want to apologize for not staying consistent with the content, but with everything with COVID going on, I kind of wanted to stay low. But if content comes to me, I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity and make a video for you guys about it. So before we get started, go ahead and check out my Instagram at KC Modern Mopar. I post the thumbnail and everything on there before I actually post the video on YouTube, so you get a little heads up on that. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and please do so. But with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into the video. So with the first thing on the list, if you ask me or any other V8 owner of a Charger or Challenger, they will say the exact same thing, and it's going to have to be the stock tires, how skinny they are. They're 245s, and with this much horsepower, you do not get enough traction or grip whatsoever. If you ask my opinion, it would definitely have to be a 275 minimum, and then like the 275s come stock on a Hellcat. That is way too skinny for 700 plus horsepower. They need at least 305s coming from the factory, and with the RTs or the Scat Packs, they come with 245s. So if you do want to do one thing after you buy it, definitely get new tires. I haven't made it there yet, but I definitely will get onto that. So I'm going to go ahead and get 275s or 305s to put on the rear, and then 275s up front. It'll give you a whole lot better traction. So that is going to have to be definitely the first thing that I hate about this car. So the second thing that I hate about this car is the blind spots. They are absolutely horrible. Anytime that I'm trying to switch lanes or get over anything like that, this is all I see. That big column right there. So whenever I'm switching lanes or anything like that, I look to my right, perfectly fine. I look in the back, perfectly fine. Then I look out this way, perfectly fine. But as soon as I switch shoulders, all I see is that big column right there and that big column right there. So I gotta look through that little bitty window right there. Sometimes I can check my mirrors, but there can be a car hiding in there unless it's like a big ass bus or a truck or anything like that. So that is one thing that I think that they need to change about these cars. The blind spots, terrible. So with number 3 on the list, it's gonna have to be the Rev Limiter. Now don't get me wrong, it's nothing big, nothing like that, but I do wish that it would change, because I'll start it up here in a minute and show you guys, but like Mustangs, as much as I hate to say it, they sound amazing in rev battles. With a Challenger or Charger, sadly you can't really get into any rev battles, just because as soon as you rev it up to about 4,000 RPMs, you can't rev anymore. You have to wait for it to drop all the way back down and then rev again. It's nothing terribly, it's not a long time that you have to wait, just a few seconds. But still, if you're wanting to get into a rev match or anything like that, you really can't unless they want to wait after every rev that you do. Wait a couple seconds, let your RPMs drop, and then you can bounce back and rev it again. So let me go ahead and start it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So then you have to let it drop all the way down, and then you can go ahead and rev again. But other than that, you can't sit there and just rev all that you want, max it out, redline it like a Mustang can. So I wish that that is something that they can change. So you can change it if you get like a tune or something like that, but stock, there's no way that you can beat around the bush and get past that rev limiter. So Dodge, please change this. So the next one on the list is gonna have to be the weight. This thing weighs almost 4,200 pounds. It's right below that mark. But I mean, I guess it does get the nickname a boat for a reason. And they are built for straight line speed, not around a track or anything like that. So it's understandable, but it does get up in speed with straight line. The weight doesn't really matter, but it does if you're trying to race or something like that. But compared to like a Mustang or a Camaro, a Corvette, I mean, Corvettes are smaller cars, so they are going to weigh a lot less, but it's still the fact that how much this thing weighs. So I would like them to come from the factory a little bit lighter, but I guess the way that the Challengers are made, I love them as is. I fall in love with this car each day that I drive it more and more. I never thought that I could love this car even more than I already do, but the weight doesn't really bother me that much because you can do mods, you add horsepower, whatever. You can take out the back seats, reduce weight, you can do whatever you need to minimize the weight, but you can only drop that so much, and then there's nothing else you can do regardless to change that weight. So they, in my perspective, for a sports car, they are kind of a heavier car, but in my opinion, they still handle around the corners great. At high speeds, I've found my limit to where I can turn at a certain speed. So other than that, I mean, like I told you, I had to dig pretty deep and nitpick at certain things to find out things that I do hate about this car. So that's number 4 on the list. So number 5 on the list, I mean, you can ask any V8 owner, it's gonna piss any sports car owner off. It is definitely gonna have to be that gas mileage. So it is a V8. Whenever I bought the car, I expected it. I literally live at the gas station. It's like my second home. I fill up, I don't drive very often, but whenever I do, I fill up once to twice a week. And each time I'm going there, 18.5 gallon tank. So I put premium in it. So I do spend a pretty penny on the gas. Like on a good day, I average right around 10 to 11 miles per gallon. Like I said, it is a V8, so I do expect that. But with this, it does have where I can cut 4 cylinders off, like if I'm on a highway, so that it'll be running 4 cylinders. I don't ever do that because, for one, it's a sports car. It's an 8-cylinder car for a reason. I bought a V8 to have a V8, not be able to minimize gas mileage, whatever. And so that the gas mileage doesn't really bother me that much. Yes, I'm at the gas station more than I am at my own house, but it's expected whenever you buy a sports car. So that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this video. But before I go ahead and cut the video off, I do wanna tell you guys, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I had to nitpick to find 5 little things. I absolutely love this car. I am not saying don't go buy a Challenger. If that is the car you're looking for, go for it. It is an absolute amazing car. I love this thing more than I ever thought I could love a vehicle. But I just wanted to do this for like an informational video for you guys. So whenever you do go buy one, you know what to expect. There are pros and cons about anything on this world. So I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a few things that I kind of dislike about the car. Like I said, there is an endless list of things that I love about this car. There's just a select few that I wish would change or that I don't like about the car. But with all that, I am going to go ahead and cut this video off. Thank you again for tuning back into the channel. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, click that bell notification so you know every time that I'm making a video. And then go check out my Instagram. It's also at COLLIN. That'll give you a heads up of whenever I'm posting a video. Thank you.
Pass it to my bros, now I get that shit done. I ain't trapping by the stove, I ain't cooking shit up. If you crying out for help, you better get your checks up. I've been fucked up by a loved one, I seen I messed up. But I can't vote with no bitches, I sit in jail.